You click a simple plastic lighter to start a scented candle. You do not even think about the tiny spark produced. It is just a small and controlled flicker of orange heat. But imagine if that spark meant the end of your home. Imagine you were searching for a way to live forever. You were mixing powders to create a magical life elixir. Instead of immortality, you accidentally created a massive explosion. You just burned down your entire laboratory by mistake. If your brain loves these weird historical glitches, stick around. Hit subscribe because ancient human logic is therapy for your survival instincts. How did a failed immortality potion become the deadliest tool ever? The answer explains why you still jump at loud noises today. In the year 850, our ancestors were obsessed with living forever. Chinese alchemists mixed sulfur and charcoal with common saltpeter. They called this strange new mixture fire medicine. They hoped it would heal the body and extend human life. Instead, it burned with a terrifying and uncontrollable purple flame. Our ancestors realized they had captured lightning in a bottle. They did not see a weapon at first, but a miracle. This is why you feel a strange peace watching a campfire. We are drawn to the power of things that can destroy. Soon, the alchemist realized this medicine could clear a path. They stopped trying to live forever and started trying to survive. They packed the powder into hollow bamboo tubes and paper pipes. They attached these tubes to the ends of long wooden spears. This was the fire lance, the true ancestor of all guns. It was not a precision tool, but a handheld flamethrower. Imagine standing in a line holding a burning stick of bamboo. You are not aiming at a target, you are creating chaos. It spat sparks and toxic smoke and pure terror at enemies. This explains why we still use bright lights to ward off intruders. We learned early on that sensory overload is a survival tactic. But bamboo is fragile and it often exploded in the hand. Our ancestors needed something stronger to hold the growing power. They began adding pottery shards and lead pellets to the tubes. These were the first bullets designed to fly through the air. As the gunpowder got stronger, the bamboo started to fail regularly. Ancient engineers had to pivot to cast bronze and heavy iron. By the year 1250, the world saw the first true guns. These were the hand cannons, heavy metal tubes with small holes. To fire it, you needed a steady hand and a coal. You held the weapon with one arm and lit the hole. You were basically holding a small metal bomb near your face. This is why you feel intense anxiety when handling fragile technology. Your ancestors knew that a single crack meant a total disaster. The Heilongjiang hand cannon is the oldest one we have found. It dates back to 1288 and looks like a simple vase. It was crude and heavy and almost impossible to aim well. But the noise alone was enough to break an enemy line. The Mongol Empire saw this power and decided to take it. They carried gunpowder technology across the vast Silk Road routes. By the mid-1300s, the secret reached the Middle East and Europe. Technology spreads when the stakes of survival are at their highest. This is why global trends move so fast in the digital age. We are still using the same ancient pathways of rapid information. In Europe, the focus shifted from raw power to mechanical precision. Soldiers needed a way to fire while keeping both hands steady. In the 1400s, the matchlock mechanism changed the face of combat. It used an S-shaped metal arm called a serpentine for control. This arm lowered a smoldering wick into a small powder pan. For the first time, a human could actually aim a shot. This is why we value focus and concentration in our work. Precision was the difference between life and death for our ancestors. But the matchlock had a major flaw in the wild world. A burning wick is visible in the dark and smells like smoke. You could not hide in the bushes with a glowing light. This led to the invention of the expensive wheel lock in 1509. It worked exactly like a modern metal cigarette lighter does today. A spring-loaded wheel spun against a piece of pyrite for sparks. It was the first weapon that could be hidden and ready. Only the richest people could afford this complex clockwork machinery. It represents the birth of high-end luxury survival gear we love. You still feel the urge to buy the best tools possible. Your brain thinks the most expensive tool is the safest one. Then came the flintlock in 1610, invented for a French king. A simple piece of flint struck a steel plate to ignite. It was cheap and reliable and worked in most weather conditions. The flintlock remained the standard for over 200 years. It fueled the great revolutions that built the modern world. This reliability is why you prefer gadgets that just work instantly. We hate friction because friction meant a misfire in the past. A misfire meant you were standing defenseless against a charging foe. The 1800s brought more change than all previous centuries combined. Ancient humans finally mastered the art of the spin with rifling. Spiral grooves inside the barrel made the bullet spin like footballs. This made the shots fly straight and true over long distances. The Minié ball allowed these rifles to be loaded very fast. Suddenly, the battlefield was 4 times more accurate than before. This explains our modern obsession with data and high-definition clarity. We want to see the target clearly before we make a move. Then a Scottish minister named Alexander Forsyth changed the game again. He invented the percussion cap using a chemical called mercury fulminate. This chemical exploded when it was struck by a hard hammer. It made guns completely weatherproof for the very first time ever. You no longer had to worry about rain ruining your protection. This is why we love waterproof phones and durable outdoor gear. We are terrified of our tools failing when the weather turns. By 1812, the first self-contained cartridges were being designed by Pauli. They combined the primer and powder and bullet into one. This was the birth of the plug-and-play world we live in. We want everything integrated into a single and convenient package. Loading a gun used to take a minute of hard work. With breech loading and cartridges, it took only a few seconds. Soldiers went from 3 shots a minute to 20 shots. The speed of life was accelerating faster than our brains could. This is why you feel overwhelmed by the pace of emails. Our ancestors were used to a much slower rhythm of action. In 1884, the final piece of the puzzle was finally found. Paul Vier invented smokeless powder, which was 3 times more powerful. Old black powder created thick clouds of blinding white smoke. After 1 shot, you could not see your own hands. Smokeless powder cleared the air and allowed for automatic fire. Hiram Maxim used the recoil energy to load the next shot. The first true machine gun was born from this clean energy. We had moved from accidental medicine to high-precision industrial machines. This journey was never about wanting to cause massive destruction. It was about the ancient human desire to control the environment. We wanted to bridge the gap between ourselves and the threat. We wanted to make the world predictable and safe for us. Every trigger pull was an attempt to stay alive another day. Our ancestors were not monsters, they were just very scared people. They used their brilliant minds to solve the problem of distance. You are the result of thousands of years of survival logic. You carry the same drive to protect what you love dearly. Whether you use a keyboard or a tool you are surviving, you are not malfunctioning, you are just remembering how to stay. Hit the bell icon so you never miss another deep dive. Ancient human logic is here to help you understand your past. Now go enjoy the safety your ancestors worked so hard for. Your survival is the greatest story ever told in this world. You were always going to find a way to stay safe. Keep looking back to see how far you have really come. Every piece of metal tells the story of human ingenuity today. We turned a failed experiment into a global turning point forever. That is the power of the human mind under extreme pressure. We are the only ones who can turn accidents into legacy. Thank you for being part of this ancient and growing tribe. Your curiosity is the fuel that keeps our history burning bright. See you in the next chapter of our collective human story. Stay safe and stay curious about the world around you always. Everything you use today has a deep and bloody history behind. Respect the journey and the people who walked it before you. We are all just trying to find our way back home. One spark at a time, we built the world we inhabit. Never forget the alchemist who just wanted to live forever tonight. In a way, their invention did make them truly immortal today. We still talk about their fire medicine 1,000 years later. That is the ultimate victory over the passing of time itself. Goodbye for now, and keep your own fire burning very bright.